Okay, I'm Richard Friberg. This is a short example or two-person example of comparative advantage from chapter 16 in my book on microeconomics. Okay, so the assumption is that we have two people, Speedy, Dud, and they're two goods. Okay, so the question is, should they live in autarky in some sense? Should each provide their own goods, or should they specialize and trade? Okay, so the two goods are blueberries and raspberries, and we see the number of hours that it takes for each of them to produce one of the goods, to pick 1 liter of each of the good. Okay, so for Speedy to pick blueberries, takes 1 hour to pick 1 liter. To pick raspberries takes 2 hours for Speedy to pick 1 liter. And the equivalent for Dud is 6 hours to pick 1 liter of blueberries, not very quick, and 3 hours to pick 1 liter of raspberries, so also not very quick. Okay, so the first thing to note is that Speedy, as can be heard from the name, has an absolute advantage in production of both of these goods. Okay, she's quicker than Dud in picking both blueberries and raspberries. So the question is, is there a point for Speedy in trading in some sense? Or given that she's quicker in everything herself, why not do it herself? Similarly, you could imagine, or similarly, but opposite to the side of the coin, you could say for Dud, what does she have to offer? She's slower in both regards. Okay, and as you might expect, we're going to be see that there are gains from trade here. Okay, so one way of doing that is as looking in the book. How many hours do they need to pick if they totally specialize? And we see that they can get the same output by specializing. They can get the same output for fewer hours of work. Okay, so that's an example, but to look a bit deeper at that, let's look at what we call comparative advantage. Okay, so we're trying to understand here how much can they pick, what are their production possibility frontier in some sense. So there's two goods, there's blueberries and raspberries. Oops, raspberries. Okay, like so. And just for the sake of the argument, we're making some assumption on the total available time. So assume that there are 12 hours available for each of them. So that's not random, but that's just something we're assuming. We could have assumed anything. As just to say, how much time do they have available for this? We need to make that assumption if we were to draw it. And here 12 happens to be nice and convenient to get nice looking figures. Okay, so for Dud, or for Speedy rather, if she only picks blueberries, it takes 1 hour to pick 1 liter. She has 12 hours available. So intercept here will be 12. If she only picks blueberries, how much will she be picking? Well, she will be getting 12 liters. Okay. Down here, if she only picks raspberries, it takes her 2 hours to get 1 liter of raspberries. Okay, so she has 12 hours available. It's essentially like half a liter per hour. Okay, so the intercept here will be 12 over 2 over 6. Okay. Oops, let's erase that and a little nicer like that. Okay, so what is this? Well, we can think of this as the production possibility frontier. Okay, so if she only picks blueberries, she's here. If she only picks raspberries, she's here. And picking less raspberries would imply getting more blueberries. And how much of each? Well, depends on how she spends her time. Okay, so we could look actually at what's the cost in some sense of picking raspberries, the opportunity cost, if you wish, would be, what's the slope of this? Well, it's -2. So giving up 2 liters of blueberries to get 1 liter of raspberry. Okay, so that's the slope of the production possibility frontier. Okay. Moving to, so maybe we should write that was Speedy. And now let's move to Dud. So she similarly has blueberries and raspberries. So these are the 2 goods in this little economy. Blueberries and raspberries. Okay. So it takes her 6 hours to pick 1 liter of blueberries. So clearly, if she spends those 12 hours picking blueberries, she will get 12 divided by 6, or 2 liters of blueberries. Whereas if she spends all her time picking raspberries, she will get 12 over 3 liters of raspberries, or 4. Okay. So there's another slope like that. So this is clearly flatter. Okay. So here, for every liter of raspberry that she gets, she gives up half a liter of blueberries only. Okay. So Duds, she's less efficient in producing both goods, but her opportunity cost is producing raspberries is lower than the opportunity cost for Speedy of picking raspberries. Okay, so we could also note more generally, if I think in these cases it's drawing the production possibility frontier. This would be the production possibility frontier for Dud. So drawing the production possibility frontier for both both people or both countries or what have you is a useful way of understanding what are the opportunity costs for these different agents. How much are you giving up? Okay, so in some sense, as usual in economics, in some sense, the cost of something is what you give up by not doing something else. Here, the cost of picking raspberries, in a sense, is how much blueberries are you giving up by picking raspberries instead. Okay, we'll end there.